So what have I really contributed to any negativity like dealing with you guys? Well, what have I done?
When you commented on Marcel's post and you tagged people making a particular comment, that was you promoting the negativity. There's no long and short conversation about it, Martell.
Okay.
It is.
I chimed into the foolishness. I did.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's you promoting negativity. And that's part
It was
of
humor. The same reason Marcel posted the picture. The same reason all three of us laughed about it. Marcel, Maurice, and myself, y'all laughed about it.
And let me tell you who didn't think it was funny.
You did. I know. I immediately called and apologized and all that kind of stuff, you know.
Martell, you always apologize almost immediately.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is you can't like do things and then apologize. Like at some point.
I don't want anything that I do to affect you guys in a negative way. You follow what I'm saying? I really mean that. That's what she said. My heart, what really kept me in that mess.
You good, right?
Yeah.
I typically say Martell has a big heart, and he does. I think that's what causes him a lot of his angst in severing certain relationships or ending, you know, different situations. And he thinks with his heart instead of kind of sometimes you gotta get things figured out with your head. Like he's a super sweet guy. Till you back him in a corner. But he's super sweet.
Well, damn, we can have a go. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all got into it in the gym?
Yeah, babe.
You didn't tell me about that. What happened?
I didn't. I called him a bitch.
Another threat, he's like, you know, you'd be thankful that I was just talking and not acting.
I don't know. I prefer not to work with Martell.
Yes, that introduction is necessary because if we watch back the scenes, we watch back the seasons, and if we just pay attention to Martell's pattern, we already know how this is going to go. We know that Martell is very cunning. He's very charming, in my opinion. And everything said in this video is my own opinion. And my name is Tink Marche, and I talk about reality TV. I talk about celebrity gossip, local news, and things that I'm passionate about. If you could, right now, hit the like button. You can either hit it on your way in or on your way out. I prefer on your way in because sometimes y'all forget to turn the lights off at your own home. So I sure as hell know you're going to forget to turn the lights on around here, which is hitting that like button. But either way, I want to get into this Martell Holt commentary, y'all. So his PR team is working to spin this story. So now he wasn't arrested. Now I feel like the story is about to change to, yeah, somebody pursued charges, but it was under false pretenses. Yes, he came to the jail because last time we didn't have a mugshot. Now we have a mugshot. Now it's going to be that he was advised to go to the police department because he had no choice. He had to turn himself in, get booked, and released. Still remain that you have been plastered all over every news site. So if Ariane was excited about the Shade Room before, she is most definitely. She got to be excited about the news articles that's coming out of Alabama because Alabama local news is reporting this. Let me back up. All of us content creators who follow Love and Marriage Huntsville, we all got the notification, the group chat, the Zoom, that Martell Holt was allegedly arrested last night on domestic violence in the 3rd degree charges, along with communications harassment. And we all have been trying to figure out what the hell happened. And of course, Huntsville will talk. And I hope I don't have to remind my people about the Revenge P. Please don't make me remind y'all. But that's why we were so puzzled about this season as to why Martell was asking Melody to forgive him. And he was acting like she didn't have any reason to feel a way about him because the whole time this season was being filmed, the Revenge P plot was being exposed. We all as content creators that followed Martell, Melody, Marcel, Kimmy, Letitia, I think I'm missing somebody. We followed them very closely, y'all. And the reason why is because when the show go off, the show is back on social media. Today, I went live, and my subscriber said that she suspects that this has something to do with the Eminem kids. She said that she allegedly believes, that maybe Martell may have texted one of his kids a threatening message. Some believe that he continued to threaten Mel, and maybe the Revenge P charges are sticking. And then others believe, as we know, recently some audio calls have been leaked between Straight No Chaser and Ariane Curry. Blogger turned friend turned enemy alluded to Ariane having some type of domestic quarrel with Martell before. She alluded to some domestic violence, y'all. But let's get into what we know. In my opinion, I feel like Martell is very dangerous. I said this before. I said this not even a week ago. I said that he is going to hurt someone. You remind me so much of Betty Broderick. That man has been spiraling. We thought that he was spiraling on the Houston trip. No, ma'am. And no, sir. That man was spiraling when he wrote that message about Carlos King, his producer / manager. I also feel, and the reason why I have to say feel, alleged, is because they like to sue y'all, even for our own opinions. Because although content creators all over, including the news station, prominent news station, have been reporting on the same thing that content creators have been, Martell allegedly is reporting videos as we speak. Here for Hot Tea has made a post earlier, about 11 or 12 hours ago, and said that Martell was reporting her post because she used his photo. And based off of the title, I think she said title. It may have been the title, y'all. But don't quote me. But he's reporting videos, even though everybody is reporting on the same thing. Matter of fact, I found the news article, and it says that Martell Holt was held in jail. Not walked through, booked, and let go. No. During the time, those few hours that he was sitting in jail, they reported that he was held. And I'm going to attach, and I'm going to make sure I attach that news article. Getting back to what we know, and I'm going to let y'all go until there's another update. 9 months ago, there was a situation where Ariane may have gotten into some type of dispute with Martell. Because content creators wanted to be thorough, they called the jail where they were told Martell Holt was, in fact, in a holding cell. Martell disputed that. We know that Martell has said on national TV that he don't care who you are. He will check you. That goes for women or men. We know that Martell is on his last leg when it comes to his job. We know that cast members, Marceau and Letitia, Marceau in specific, had to place a restraining order on Martell. Season 1 or season 2. That tells us that the cast members have been uncomfortable. They've just been trying to make sure that Martell continue to receive a check. You know what I find very interesting? Tiffany was so concerned about Kiki ruining her reputation on TV. She said that Kiki was bad for her brand. Wonder what Tiffany and others are thinking now, because now Love and Mary Transfield is attached to Marceau, Maurice, Martell, Mel, and Letitia's name. Stormy as well. And most importantly, Carlos King. This, in my opinion, is bad for business. As if the revenge P wasn't enough. To be on OWN Network with this, Iyanla Vanzant gave her best work. This is a bad look. My predictions. I feel like if it's Ariane is going to try her best to drop the charges when she gets back into Martell's good graces, or vice versa, if he gets in her good graces. If it has something to do with her, she's going to try to drop these charges. But what I'm curious of, because I've myself been through domestic violence, sometimes they will not allow you to drop the charges. If the state see fit to charge you, they will. The second thing, if those kids were involved in any kind of way, full custody for Mel. Full custody for Mel. The other thing, Martell may have to check himself into an insane asylum. He cannot handle embarrassment on this level. My other thing is, he's going to try to blame somebody. But who will it be? I predict that he's going to find a way to blame Mel. Because we know on the last few episodes, he was screaming to the top of his lungs, "She's trying to throw me in jail." Maybe he knew his day was coming. Oh, them Holt brothers or something else. Because I'm seeing reports on Martell Holt that he was in jail as well. I don't know what he was in jail for. But they seem to like to be entangled with the law. But I definitely predict Ariane or whomever try to drop the charges if it's Ariane. I also can see him even blaming his children, saying that they didn't see what they saw. Remember, he said his kids can be easily manipulated. See Letitia, Marceau, and Kimmy coming up with some kind of excuse as to how Martell got himself in this position, because they don't want their secrets to be exposed on this show. Martell is a loose cannon. And like Wednesday Talk said, Martell is liable to tell everybody's secrets, at this point especially. 2 questions. Martell, was this acting? If so, you a damn good actor. You deserve an Emmy. I stated on my TikTok on yesterday night, Kimmy, is Martell still a good guy?
Warning.